No problem. I'll do that.
I'm so sorry about that. So yeah.
That is quite fine. All right. All right. So gratitude is a must. Most of us know that song by Coffee, right? But what some of us may not be aware of is how powerful gratitude is to people development and organizational development. It is certainly a very new part of the study of gratitude. Less than 20 years have gone into putting good evidence-based research into the area to be able to share what I'm about to share with you now. And so for those who have not yet started the journey, we have great things to share with you. For those that are on the journey, we hopefully will share things with you that will optimize what you're currently doing. So for our run through for the lecture, we're going to go through a little warm up. You know, right now the AC quite cold with me, so I wouldn't mind a little warm up. And we'll look at gratitude at work, and otherwise we'll look at what's the best approach. And that approach, I will give you a little clue from now, is a culture-based approach. We'll look at how you can build your strategy, game plan, and look at how you get started. A little phrase to remember: what we appreciate appreciates, and gratitude works when you work it well, and that is what we intend to show you. So that said, let's have a little warm up. It's the end of the work day for most of us, and some of us would have been cozying back at home. And so to be able to take you through the journey, I do want us to get our brain cells back alive. We would have probably started winding down already. So on your screen, you will see pick a number from 1 to 30, and then everyone, I mean every single one, will now have to do as Ijah says and do it gratefully. So I'm just gonna pick from my list here, and I see, Susie, can each person unmute themselves, or will I have to unmute them myself?
We can unmute ourselves.
Okay, great. All right. So
hi, Ijah.
Hey, how you doing? All right, so I'm gonna pick on Louis, right? Louis, pick a number from 1 to 30, and any number you pick, I'm gonna read out something that matches that number, and then everybody has to do it gratefully. Now, everybody, what you're gonna do, you're gonna use the chat window to do what I'm about to say, depending on the number that Louis begins with. Louis, pick a number between 1 to 30.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, Loy.
Oh, sorry. I'm
going to charge you.
Thank you. I look forward to the charge. I'll pay it. I assure you. I'm very grateful for your for your willingness to tolerate that.
No, man, no problem. My number tonight, 5.
5. All right. So to number 5, it says use the letters of your first name to select and write down positive words that best describe you. And you're just gonna drop that in the chat. You have less than 30 seconds to do that. Use the letters, and everyone has to do this, right? This is not just for Lloyd. She's just picked the lucky number that tells you what you're gonna do. So use the letters of your first name to select and write down positive words that best describes you. Everybody has 30 seconds to do that. You just drop it in the chat. Law, you have the magic responsibility now of picking somebody else for me to ask them to pick a number.
All right. I'll choose Mary's. Mary's, you know I was going to call on you, right? Or Monique.
So
Mary's or Monique,
all the letters of your first name. All the letters of your first name.
Oh, all the letters.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So use all the letters of your first name.
I'm supposed to read.
That's going to be so long.
You're gonna. Everybody has 30 seconds, and we're gonna get another number in the meantime while everybody putting it in. So
I'm done. I'm done.
Pick a number between 1 to 30. Let's see what comes up for you. Lucky number.
Oh, choose that, Mary.
Mary, what number you pick? Between
16, sweet 16.
Sweet 16. All right, let me see what's on my card here. Number 16. All right, before we jump and tell you what's number 16, let's look at what's coming through on the chat. So I see that this is Delane. Delane says she's determined, ardent, loyal, energetic, noble, and eager. I see Nadia says that she's nurturing, attractive, desirous, intelligent, amazing. Those are wonderful words. All right, guys, your 30 seconds is up. Let's keep this going. All right, Sweet 16. All right, let's see what is that Sweet 16. Everybody has to do this now. In the chat, write down, what is one experience you had today at work that you really appreciated? What is one experience that you had at work today that you really appreciated? One experience. Drop it in the chat. You have 30 seconds. Gareth, you have the lucky opportunity to pick somebody else for the next lucky pick. Everybody, 30 seconds. What is one thing that happened at work today that you really appreciated? Everybody has 30 seconds to drop that in the chat. Meredith, who are you gonna pick?
Loy.
Well, Loy went a while ago.
Nadia.
Nadia. Lucky number 1 to 30. What are you gonna pick?
Right. What number I'm picking?
Yes.
15.
15. All right beside Sweet 16.
Yes.
All right, so somebody says she appreciated working from home. All
wow,
right.
Lucky her.
Got a surprise gift from my team. That is Kirby. We got a visit from a longtime member and visit from a new doctor. Director gave the HR department gifts. That's so sweet. Contributed to the 40th anniversary committee and made good recommendations. That's very nice. All right, so some wonderful things have been happening at work, right? That's really, really nice. Despite the challenging nature, it's good to see that good things are still happening. All right, so let's see what's happening here at number 15. Question to you, on behalf of you to everybody, says, who is one person that has contributed to your life significantly that you'll be happy to say thank you to today? Who is one person that has contributed positively to your life that you would be happy to say thank you to today? Everybody has 30 seconds to put that in the chat while Nadia gets to pick somebody for the final lucky number.
What's the name? You don't need to know why.
No, just the name. Just the name. Just the name. Wouldn't mind the full name as well.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Just in case we know them, we can tell them for you.
It's gone already.
Nadia, last person. Who you gonna pick, Nadia?
I said it with my mic off. I picked Beverly.
Beverly, lucky number between 1 to 30. Last pick of the day.
I pick number 7.
Number 7. All right, we'll see what comes up there. So some people who are getting thankful praises through prayer and wishes right now from all of us. Lloyd Wigan, my friend Patricia, Ruth Easy, Kirk, all the Kirks, I suppose, out there. My dad, Loy, my sister. All right, it's nice to get the name. So when we do the prayers, we can actually, you know, ensure that God targets the right person. Otherwise, he's going to give every sister. My father, Genevieve, Selma, my late grandmother, my great grandmother, Ada, Sylvia, Mom Elsa. All right, so some lovely persons out there in the world doing wonderful things despite all the things that we see on the news. It was number 7, you said, right? Number 7 is the last lucky number? Okay, how am I feeling right now? How am I feeling right now? Share that in the chat. How am I feeling right now? 30 seconds for you to do that, guys. All right, so we see some wonderful words coming through. People feeling blessed, grateful, pumped, engaging, happy, awesome. Wow. Wonder if that was related to what you're thinking about. Wow. These are all wonderful words. Nobody feel tired, want to sleep. Brain cells are all awake right now. All right, I suppose we'll work with it. This is what is coming in. Charged and blessed.
Yeah, you are charging us up.
Why? Well, apparently, I don't know if this is me, but I guess you guys know how to do this well. All right, so while you guys continue the chat, let's continue on because the time is only so much. Now, who agrees with this statement? Be so happy that when others look at you, they become happy too. Now tell me now, if you look at this baby and you feel happy, put I'm happy in the chat. If you look at that baby and you feel happy, I feel happy in the chat. All right? Be so happy that when others look at you, they become happy too. Those are powerful words. Now, equally powerful words are, how important is genuine happiness in your life? Think about that. How important is genuine happiness in your life? If you have the time, quickly type it in the chat. Because I have another one for you. What are you doing daily to realize your desire for living in authentic joy? What are you doing daily to realize your desire for living in authentic joy? And if you're brave enough, you can drop that in the chat as well as we jump over and ponder another question. Sorry, another statement. So the statement says, what we are is God's gift to us, and what we become is our gift to God. If you agree with that, say, I am a gift in the chat. I am a gift in the chat. Let's see how many people are gifts. Nadia is a gift. Helen is a gift. Well, a lot of people are gifts. I wonder what you're giving. Guess we're going to have to ask that now. What is your greatest gift? Think about that. And also think about, what are you doing daily to help others to unleash their best potential from each day? What are you doing daily to help others unleash, that should be their best potential from each day? If you're brave enough, you can drop it in the chat. I'll be brave enough to read it out, for sure. So here we go. This one you have to put in the chat though, right? Whether you're brave or not, everybody put this in the chat. What is one secret worth sharing on a daily basis that delivers an awesomely amazing life? Everybody have to put that in the chat. As a matter of fact, I have a neck pillow if anybody gets this right.
Could you repeat that?
If you get this one right, I have a neck pillow for you. What is one secret? I have a neck pillow for you if you get this right. What's one secret worth sharing on a daily basis that delivers an awesomely amazing life? Make work fun? I suppose that's good.
I think I won, Dr. Thompson. I said forgiveness, forgiving each day.
I say gratitude is a buzz. So is it with that? Pamela, let me just jump back. I think I see my winner there. I'm going to have to jump back and find it now. Dear God, there's so much typing going on. I can't find it again. I'll find it. Susie, you got to find the person who put gratitude there so a while ago, right? Yes. So my answer, and everybody's right, by the way. There was no right or wrong answer, but the answer I was looking for was really gratitude. And you'd have thought I got the clue from the questions I was asking. Go again. Who said that?
Petula, I'm seeing that written.
Petula. All right. So Petula has a neck pillow coming her way. You're gonna have to stop at Hermage and pick that up. All right. So gratitude. My questions was all hinged on helping you to a little clue to get to this slide, gratitude. Now, of course, I suppose the title of the presentation could have given it away as well. But that said, I'm hoping that by now you'd have recognized that your happiness, use of your blessings, and so much more is linked to this very powerful word, gratitude. Now, I want us to simmer and think on that for a little bit. So I'm going to do a little mindfulness exercise. We're on Zoom, so I'm going to have to play this from my phone. Now, there's an exercise that helps you with mindfulness called progressive muscle relaxation. Some people are familiar with deep breathing, but I know by now everybody in HR has some quick stress relief technique that they use. But I find progressive muscle relaxation has been a very powerful one because it helps both your mind and body at the same time. And importantly, it helps you to become centered and relaxed. It is said that mindfulness is a method of falling awake. And what we want is for you to become awakened so that you can go through and learn as much as you can. So let me just unplug my headset because I know this doesn't work if I play it directly. So I'm just going to play it from my phone. If you can hear it properly, you just let me know. If you can't, you also let me know, and I'll do my best to help you to. All right, so here we go. All right, so listen in. All right, am I here yet? I'm sorry, guys. Just a second, guys. Just a second. I just lost that one a while ago. Let me just bring it up back. Please forgive me. Where did it go? Okay. Oh. Can you hear that?
No, we're not hearing.
Not hearing. All right, no problem. Just set that on.
I guess you need to carry us to St. Thomas to the beach.
All right, no problem. Just a second. It's coming up. Oh, I just saw what happened.
But it's best to practice frequently.
All right. It was my phone that was giving trouble. It's back up now. All right, let's go back from the top here.
Progressive muscle relaxation is an exercise that reduces stress and anxiety in your body by having you slowly tense and then relax each muscle. This exercise can provide an immediate feeling of relaxation, but it's best to practice frequently. With experience, you'll become more aware of when you're experiencing tension, and you will have the skills to help you relax.
Can you hear
During
that?
this exercise, each muscle should be tense, but not to the point of strain.
If you can hear me, let me know, please.
Yes.
Yes,
It's a little low, but we hear it.
Not so clear.
Relaxation. Sit back or lie down in a comfortable position. Shut your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. Begin by taking air. Release the breath. Breath and hold it. Again, slowly release the air. Even slower now, take another breath. Fill your lungs and hold the air. Slowly release the breath and imagine the feeling of tension leaving your body. Continue breathing slowly throughout this exercise. Try to focus on the feeling of air filling and leaving your lungs. It will be normal for your mind to wander. When it does, do your best to bring it back to the moment. Now, move your attention to your feet. Begin to tense your feet by curling your toes and the arch of your foot. Hold on to the tension and notice what it feels like. Release the tension in your foot. Notice the new feeling of relaxation. Next, begin to focus on your lower leg. Tense the muscles in your calves. Hold them tightly and pay attention to the feeling of tension. Release the tension from your lower legs. Again, notice the feeling of relaxation. Remember to continue taking deep breaths. Next, tense the muscles of your upper leg and pelvis. You can do this by tightly squeezing your thighs together. Make sure you feel tenseness without going to the point of strain. And release. Feel the tension leave your muscles. Begin to tense your stomach and chest. You can do this by sucking your stomach in. Squeeze harder and hold the tension. Release the tension. Allow your body to go limp. Let yourself notice the feeling of relaxation. Continue taking deep breaths. Breathe in slowly, noticing the air fill your lungs, and hold it. Release the air slowly. Feel it leaving your lungs. Next, tense the muscles in your back by bringing your shoulders together behind you. Hold them tightly. Tense them as hard as you can without straining, and keep holding. Release the tension from your back. Feel the tension slowly leaving your body, and the new feeling of relaxation taking its place. Notice how different your body feels when you allow it to relax. Tense your arms all the way from your hands to your shoulders. Make a fist and squeeze all the way up your arm. Hold it. Release the tension from your arms and shoulders. Notice the feeling of relaxation in your fingers, hands, arms, and shoulders. Notice how your arms feel limp and at ease. Move up to your neck and your head. Tense your face and your neck by distorting the muscles around your eyes and mouth. Release the tension. Again, notice the new feeling of relaxation. Finally, tense your entire body. Your feet, legs, stomach, chest, arms, head, and neck. Tense harder without straining. Hold on to the tension. Now release. Allow your whole body to go limp. Pay attention to the feeling of relaxation and how different it is from the feeling of tension. Continue taking deep breaths. Begin to wake your body up by slowly moving your muscles. Adjust your arms and legs. Stretch your muscles and open your eyes when you're ready. You've completed the progression.
All right, guys. Everybody has awoken? Have you awoken?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Yeah.
what we call
Yeah.
progressive muscle relaxation. It's a wonderful means, and that took 5 minutes a while ago. It might seem like it was quite long, but it really just took 5 minutes to do that. And if you can just invest 5 minutes towards centering yourself each day or each time that life seems to move away in a direction that is not suitable to you, then you can find that you can easily recenter and you can be here now. So everybody's brain cell being awake, our mind is here now. Let's talk about gratitude at work. Now, to begin this talk, you know, I'll say I was very surprised when I dived into gratitude to realize how powerful it is. And I'm going to share some of my surprises, and chances are, if you find some of them surprising too, then you can share it in the chat and let's talk about it, right? Now, generally in life, most of us tend to be a little bit surprised when people don't realize the source of their goodness that they're going through. A nice phrase that says so is when we drink from the river, when you drink from the river, we should always pause to remember the contributing streams. It is always amazing in work. I mean, being the head of my organization, the amount of people that tend to forget that so easily, the things that facilitate what they have. If you are surprised by how frequently that happens at work, say amen in the chat. Now, a second thing that really surprised me, and this really helped to change my leadership style, is when I realized that there was a significant difference between recognition and appreciation. Now, some people say gratitude, recognition, appreciation. Where's the link? Now, I know some of us have very big recognition programs in our organization. And I'm sure you can very easily, those of us who have them, can easily tell us what's the difference between recognition and appreciation. This one I don't want in the chat. This one I want to just hear from someone. If you know the difference between recognition and appreciation, tell us right now. Don't be shy, guys. Your brain cells are here now. Let's talk about this thing. This blew my mind when I recognized the difference.
Ijah, you can have formal programs that persons have met their targets, and therefore you recognize them for meeting the targets, but you don't appreciate who they are, really.
That is true,
as persons.
That is true. That is true. I really, I mean, this was probably about 4 years ago. I stopped getting birthday cakes at work. And I'm saying, hey, what did I do wrong? And, you know, I started to realize that I had too much of a focus on recognition and too little focus on appreciation. And that was really when I think probably about a year before that, I went on my first major gratitude recharge experience. But you know, going through that of a loss of not getting my birthday cakes each year really brought front and center to me what Loy said. You can have recognition for performance, but people need to be valued on a day-to-day basis. And if you don't have appreciation as a part of your organization embedded, then you're going to realize that even with the biggest of appreciation programs, it really doesn't work out very well. Here's another shocking thing for me. And
Ijah,
yes.
Ijah, is it so? Could we summarize it as intrinsic versus extrinsic?
I think that's very powerful psychology there, because the recognition as it is given, as is traditionally given, tend to be an extrinsic reward, a motivation to get a prize, increased incentive, a card, or otherwise, while appreciation is intrinsically driven to feel, it's an intrinsic motivation to feel appreciated and loved. And so definitely I will agree with that psychology 101%. And if I had another neck pillow, I'd give it to you. Well said. Next surprise.
And Dr. Thompson.
Yes.
And I was also thinking of tangible and intangible.
Definitely. That goes solidly. All right. Our recognition systems tend to be very tangible, but appreciation is certainly something that is intangible. It comes in words, feeling, expression of feelings, and otherwise. For the most part, that is. Though there are tangible ways to do appreciation as well. My second surprise that I'm grateful to have experienced. And I want you to think about this, you know. Do you ever get concerned about giving mixed signal to someone that has just done something wrong, or they go through a major episode of underperformance and somehow looking at you as if they need a compliment or a praise in the moment? Have you ever been concerned about giving mixed signals? Anybody?
No for me.
No for you. All right. Well, I can tell you for me, it was a big thing. All right. I was always very worried that if someone really does something devastatingly wrong in front of me and I should try to praise them, that they would become quite, you know, mixed in their understanding that this praise is not saying that what you did bad was good, and or if you underperform, it doesn't mean that you can continue underperforming if I give you a compliment that followed. And I find that while it was a bit liberating to realize that I could, with understanding the difference between recognition and appreciation, that I cannot recognize underperformance. I cannot recognize someone that did something wrong, but I can still appreciate each person for the value that they have as a human being. That was very liberating for me. And it's something that I was gratefully surprised by. And I'm even more greatly surprised by when I started to teach it to my leaders around me, because they now started to appreciate that a lot of the experiences that were kickbacks were really because the appreciation component was being kept away from someone who still deserved appreciation, but the recognition was understood that I would not have gotten it. So that was something I was gratefully surprised by, right? How do you routinely begin your leadership and general staff meetings? Anybody can share? How do you routinely begin them?
I have done some of those with prayer.
Some prayer, yep, that's a very common one for us to start our meetings.
Right, and icebreakers, of course.
Icebreakers, all right, that's powerful. All right, so, you know, obviously you've learned the secret sauce already. Build some social connection before we go into the formal business. That definitely something that took me a while to get into. Probably not as much as the recognition and appreciation, but definitely we need to realize that there's an innate intrinsic need for social engagements and, you know, people connecting with each other. We so often start our day going to our general, the few times that we actually get together and just go straight into the business. And when we do that, we lose an opportunity, a wonderful opportunity to build connection and show appreciation or gratitude, right? Here's some interesting statistics. Hopefully they are interesting for you. They were very interesting and surprising for me when I came across them. I see Andrew here say big ups and thank God for being here segment. All right. Thanks for sharing that. All right. So interesting result. Charles Schwab, you can look this up on the internet, had departments. They're a company that believed in building a culture of trust, right? But they realized that they had departments that were doing very awful when it comes to employee engagement. And after running a comprehensive appreciation program, they realized that departments that were at the second worst moved up to being second best. Engagement moved through the roof. Next statistic that was pretty interesting. How can you double a performance in a very simple way? Researchers observed that while recognition programs saw a 23% increase in performance, when combined with appreciation program, there was a 100% jump. All right. In other words, performance doubled. this was also interesting when I came across it. Forbes has this one. Millennials, we all know the challenges with millennials and getting to understand. Some organizations have just given up on them, but millennials recurrently put forward that if they feel unappreciated, they are more likely to jump ship. As a matter of fact, the U.S. labor force survey of persons who recently left their jobs had appreciation as one of the lack of appreciation as one of being the leading causes of why persons chose to leave their jobs. Google saw this one. Psychological safety is a recurring predictor. Is a recurring predictable predictor of team success. And at the root of psychological safety, for those of us who know the topic, is trust and appreciation. And so those things were really, really powerful when I went through them. And I'm hoping as you hear them, they're really powerful for you as well. I do know that some of us are in organizations that are already converted and doing it. And I'm hoping that by the time we get to the actual tools, you will be amazed at the tools themselves. But for those of us who haven't started yet, I'm hoping that, you know, those awakening moments really that were awakening for me, you know, started to give you some realization of what gratitude and appreciation can do. Now, for you to think about, you know, would you be grateful for a solution in any one of these areas? What I have down here is what I would consider the world of what the world of work now has as some common challenges and common needs. Challenges that has to be solved if your organization needs this to reduce the competitiveness, to reduce the transactional behaviors among staff, to balance the fast-paced, high-performance work environment, to reduce conflict and distrust, to eliminate toxic spaces within the workplace where there's low natural or organic shared appreciation and there's strong resentment. If your workplace needs any of those to be solved, you can always put "I do" in the chat. On the other flip side, some of us have those solved. Some of us may have some growth needs, right? So we've dealt with those problems, but we'd love to have more pro-social behaviors. We'd love our organization to be more resilient. We're just going through COVID and we see the challenges that COVID has put on our organization. And so we might need our organization to be more resilient. We want a more high performance team. Our teams are good, but you know, they can be better, but how do I do it? All right. Or I need a better way to motivate people while handling subpar performance or performance that's just below what we want. It doesn't have to be subpar for your industry, but really just not where we, but I need to figure out how to motivate my people, right? And of course, your list can go on. If you have other I do's, you can drop them in chat. Because what I want to share with you is that these are areas that gratitude has been proven scientifically to help, to fix, and solve. All right, so I'm hoping the foundation is laid. Gratitude is an amazing tool. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing gift by God to us, right? And so I want us to really start to look at it and just examine it and understand what it is before we go into the tools to be able to use it better within our organization. As I said, I mean, myself personally, it's been over 5 years since we have been using gratitude in both as a intervention tool and as a tool to help our own staff in our organization. And so it is something that's I'm very passionate about. And, you know, I'm really happy that Suzanne and the team gave me the opportunity to share with you guys how we've done with so many organizations in the past. What is gratitude? The chat is open, or you can open your mic. Talk to me. What is gratitude for you? I see Selena and Colleen says they agree with me with those needs that are there right now, and they can see some space that gratitude can really be helpful. All right, what is gratitude? Who can share in the chat, or who can open their mics and share with us what is gratitude? Is it an emotion? Is it a feeling? Is it a character trait? Is it just a way of life? What is it? What is gratitude? Those are clues, by the way. So Selma says it's a show of appreciation. Anybody else? Anyone to open their mics and share?
being thankful
It's being
and
thankful.
showing appreciation for kindness and love.
All right, so it's like a response or an action for you, right?
Right.
Awesome. That's awesome. It's a feeling of thankfulness coming from Colleen, right? And you know, all of these answers are right. You know,
creating an atmosphere where people are comfortable.
great. So it's like at work would be like your climate, right? It's like
A climate,
the space,
right?
Where
people can feel free to speak and be themselves, and they don't have to pretend.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. And you know, very easily, you are right. You are right, and hopefully, you know, me saying you're all right gives you an idea that gratitude is a different thing depending on what you're describing it against. So you can describe it at an individual level, you can describe it at a team level, you can describe it at an organizational level. And so depending on the context you're using to describe it, what it truly is different. But it boils down back to the same core, all right? And so it is the recognition and appreciation that there is goodness in our lives, and that this goodness is due to the action of someone or something outside of us. So in other words, it's other focused, it's not us focused. And so when we are grateful, we recognize and acknowledge that we are more aware that the beneficial blessings and their benefits and the benefactor that gave them are of a benevolent nature. So in other words, we can see the 4 B's that go around the goodness or the gift or the blessing that has been presented to us. So, but definitely, depending on the context, it is quite a different thing. And I'm going to go through that right now so you can really see the richness of what this thing is, because easily, you know, we can become quite tunnel vision on it and not see the entire richness of what this thing is so that we can really know how to use it, right? Gratitude itself, though, can be said to be counterintuitive. And it is this counterintuitiveness of it that allows it to do what it does best, which is restore balance to our reality. It tends to come into our life and allows us to have a new perspective on how things really are. And so it helps to counter some things that God put in us naturally. We naturally have this negativity bias. Things will go wrong, as Murphy's Law say, right? And so because we are built with this high negativity bias, gratitude just doesn't come like something that should be there. We also have this self-serving bias. We try to do things for our own gain. We also need control and we need autonomy over things. We have this predisposition to have things being fair and just around us. But gratitude is very counter to all of that. And hopefully you can see that God gave us this gift of gratitude to counter the natural other aspect of our psyche that he built in us to now be able to rebalance our viewpoint and our reaction to the world as a whole. So it manifests in individuals or on the in persons as emotional episodes, as emotional schemas, ways of feeling, mental schemas, mental models, the way of thinking, attitudinal traits, way of responding, behavioral predispositions, and outlook. It comes as a reduction in our negativism and presents as a greater feeling of well-being at its ultimate manifestation in individuals. In relationship, it comes out as pro-social behaviors, sharing, caring, being compassionate, being empathetic, being humble, giving appreciative expressions. And at the organizational level, it comes out as our caring culture. It comes out as relational supportive policies, processes, and work rituals. At even its highest level, your organization becomes more outward focused, more world focused, human focused, be more social responsible, and ultimately you have a resilient organization. So these are just different manifestations of gratitude itself. And wherever it manifests, it has the power to heal, it has the power to energize and change lives. It makes us healthier, wealthier, and happier. It can shift our mind from scarcity to abundance, from pain to gain, from shame to fame, and so much more. At work, it helps our team members to reduce stress and burnout. It is one of the most well-studied things about it. It lessens competitiveness and increases collaborativeness. It improves supportiveness and reduces transactionalness. It helps our teams to be more team-focused and less individualistic. It helps us to be less distracted and more purposeful. It increases a sense of greater good-orientedness. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. When you come to your health, it makes you more alert, energetic. It decreases mental illnesses. And I mean, I'm talking over a century of research here. You just need to do one Google search for gratitude and you'll see thousands of research articles come up. And each of these are there. I can send you guys most of the research articles for these. I think biggest of all, when it comes to your health, it reduces cost. It lowers hospital stay, hospital time. If you have people with blood pressure problems, it lowers their blood pressure. It lessens pain. It gives you better sleep. In your relationship, you're less lonely, less isolated. Your relationship is more loving. Communication is more rich. You're more likely to forgive and sacrifice for the other person. When it comes to your finances, it helps you to better manage your finances. When it comes to your children and school, they feel better about school. And when it comes to your teachers, they feel more satisfied and accomplished. Boy, this thing come like it can solve all of Jamaica problem right now. Who agree with me? Say it in the chat if you agree with me, guys. Say it in the chat if you agree with me. This looks like the solution for Jamaica. We should have gratitude days every day. Another powerful thing about gratitude, and really I'm showing you the richness of this thing, right? It is so powerful when you dive into it. It is called the great amplifier of positive emotion. It is what you call the memory of our heart. Gratitude motivates people to improve their connectedness, their state of elevation, humility, reciprocity. You name it, you pick a positive emotion, it amplifies it. At the heart of gratitude is joy, it is love, and it is grace. And those are, I'll share the studies with you and help you to see that. I just try to abstract that away so I don't overclutter with all the overcluttering that's here right now, right? So gratitude is an amazing thing. So you've heard all the amazements. You tell me, what has gratitude done for you? I'm sure some of you has gone on gratitude challenges and gratitude journeys and retreats and all sort of things already. I want to hear, what has gratitude done for you? Somebody open their mics and talk to us now. Has anyone here ever gone on a gratitude recharge, a gratitude challenge, a self-imposed gratitude reflection, routine, journaling, or otherwise? Anyone?
Yes, I have.
Awesome. Danielle, tell us about what has gratitude done for you?
Well, I started a gratitude journal this year as a way to reconnect with God a bit more. But I found that not only has it helped with my spiritual journey, it has helped keep me calm, especially with all the craziness that is happening now.
Yes.
And it has enabled me to really appreciate the things that I do have instead of always looking at what I don't have.
Awesome. So abundance, scarcity to abundance, right? So guys,
right.
You heard it from somebody who's been doing it. Let me hear from one other person. Who else has gone on a gratitude experience, journaling, exercise?
I've gone on a gratitude experience, journaling, just as Daniel did. And I had it on my phone. And it's daily, one had to record what your gratitude was. And you had to pick a photo.
Yes.
So if persons will send you pictures, or you may have had pictures, and that you associated with your gratitude. What I found it did for me is very similar to Daniel, in that I focused more on the goodness of life and the persons that were bringing in the goodness.
Yes.
Because there are occasions when you tend to look more for the faults.
Yes.
Rather than the blessings that have come naturally. We take things for granted. So what it really did is that it highlighted the fact, take nothing for granted, and bless all the people that come into your life and have allowed you to have that joy and meet the deadlines that would stress you out and where you thought there was no help coming from. It just comes from the blue.
I hear blocking negative emotions, increasing, amplifying the joy, helping you to build relationships and so much more there. Guys, the studies have been confirmed there, right? One last one. Anyone else has gone on any form of gratitude recharge, challenge, doing some exercises just for trying it out sake? Anyone else?
Yes, Dr. Thompson. Yes, I would like to share.
Selma, please go ahead.
Yes, right. I remember 2 years ago, well, as the HR practitioner at my office, I was preparing overseas travel.
Yes.
And I remember one evening I got an email from the executive assistant.
Yes.
I was a little confused because she was saying I must go to medical, and she was sending me a lot of documents.
Yes.
So I wasn't quite sure because I'm the one who was preparing overseas travel for other members of staff.
Yes.
I went back to the office the following day. I said, what am I preparing this overseas travel for? She said, Selma, it's for you. You know, and it was really shocking, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that because I was always doing overseas travel for other members of staff. They saw it was the need for me to travel. So I got the opportunity to travel to China.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I still want to go to China myself.
Traveling because of Corona, but I was very grateful at the time, and it was, you know.
So going through that experience, how has it helped? How has it impacted? Sorry, the relationship that you've had at work.
Well,
has anything changed negatively, positively, or otherwise?
Well, positively, because you know, as I said, you know, it was quite surprising at the time.
That's awesome. And guys, that's just one experience, you know, one experience of an expression of generosity, which is an expression of benevolence and giving, which resulted in that improved relationship. So you understand that this thing is amazingly powerful if you dive into it. So of course, the devil's advocates and all those other naysayers out there will say, well, if it's so good, then why you're coming here to tell us to work on it, right? Who agree with me? If it's so good, why we need to even try and do anything about it, right? Sounds like a logical question. If you agree with me, say aye. I'm not getting the eyes yet, you know. Is what happened to my people. I guess everybody knows that we need it then, right?
Aye.
We get an idea because we want to know why we need it. Why do we need to work on it then if it's so good? Everybody not supposed to just do it. But truth be told, being human beings, we are human beings. God made us as perfect imperfections, and the imperfection he did get right. We know how to miss the perfect part of us. And so we have this pervasive negativeness. We quickly adapt and acclimatize to new and positive. So quickly our spouse, paycheck, and car have no more value to us. We have this culture of entitlement in certain spaces. Cynicism and resentment boils and riddles deep in certain quarters. Our busyness at our goals in our life and hyper-focused on things that really don't matter at all at the end of our life. Distractions, forgetfulness, aging sometimes, mental slowness sometimes, an ability to accept dependence on others. Sometimes we don't want to express ourselves in a certain way. Suffering or things that just we're strained, poverty, too much needs, our brain just can't take anymore. And in some of our spaces and some workplaces, you know, it's just not the culture. We don't display, we don't support, we don't expect it, so we just don't do it. And so these are very truthful truths, right? And a part of our imperfections that we are as humans. And so this is why, despite how good it is and how universal it is, that we really have to put effort into working on gratitude, and working at it in our workplace is one space that we need to do it if we're going to get the benefits of it. Let me see, somebody just jump in the chat. True, says Kirby. So as we gave you the clue earlier, if you're going to work at it, then evidence after evidence over 20 years I've said, if you're going to do it in the workplace, then you're going to need a culture-based, and I dare say add to that an evidence-based approach, because there are many unevidenced ways and gut feeling ways to take on culture, and you need a culture-based approach to do it. You realize that we quickly acclimatize. You realize that things quickly wear off. And so with those sort of normalness about being human, the human condition, then you understand that this is something that we really have to embed. Another thing about gratitude is that we have to realize that there's a significant difference between feeling grateful and being grateful. Somebody tell me the difference. I have a neck pillow for you. The difference between feeling grateful and being grateful. Guys, the time running out, you know, so somebody have to talk quickly here now.
Feeling.
Yes.
Feeling grateful is just feeling grateful. Being grateful is a whole
It's
present.
just being grateful, right?
Yeah.
I'm just troubling you. I'm troubling
It's your present. You know, it's your whole present. It's your whole present, you know?
It's just who you are, right, Lloyd?
It's just who you are. It's your entire being becomes that versus, you know, feeling grateful. You might feel grateful for this lecture.
So that's
just
temporary,
a one-time
right?
thing, but temporary. But
Yeah, man.
being grateful is a permanent lifestyle.
Great. So everybody feels grateful. Everybody is grateful. You ask a million people how grateful they are. They say, I'm the most grateful person in the world. But are they a grateful person? That's a whole different question. And so we have to realize that if we're going to benefit from being grateful, then what we're trying to do is develop grateful people, not just to get people to feel more grateful. And so to do that, you need something that can be a continuous driver for you. And culture does that. Your work culture can sustain the change once it's created, and it can keep the change once developed. All right. And, you know, I know all of you know what culture is. I won't even read out this. When you get the slides, you can read it out what culture is. But the key is that culture has built in it descriptive norms and injunctive norms. The descriptive norm tells us what we should do, and the injunctive norm says what is approved by our group. And so because that is built into our values, belief, and assumption, then the informal and formal actions are preserved for a long time. Culture also helps us to realize that we have to do things on multiple levels. We have to do things on the person level, on the team level, and on the group level. We can't just do it at one level. In organizations, we tend to say, just fix the people, and the people it will fix the problem. But in organizations, we know, and so I go. Fix the people, and the organization stay the same way. The people come back to what you fixed them from before. And you say, why didn't just keep coming back to the same thing we just fixed? Well, you didn't fix the organization. You didn't fix the relationships. And so there are many models. This is just one that shows you the complex interactions that occur with gratitude in the workplace. And I'm going to go through this now. You go through it on your own time. But the key is to see that there are complex interactions that occur before, during, after, and even beyond the outcomes. And so generally, if you're going to get this right, you have to think culture. If you're going to get it right to sustain it, and it's not just a one-off short-term thing, and you're affected by the human conditions that we mentioned earlier. So here we go. Think about this. Drop it in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the appreciative culture at your workplace? I would say gratitude culture, but I think it don't sound as good. So how would you rate the appreciative culture at your workplace? In other words, another way to say it, how well do we say thank you at our workplace? Scale of 1 to 10. Rate it and drop it in the chat. Right now, everybody, all 39 of us, 37 of us is going to drop that in the chat. Similarly, as you drop that in, think about this one and drop it in the chat. At my workplace, people feel that the work or the people is more important in the organization. If you say work is more important, say work. If you say the people, put the people. All right, drop that in the chat. In my organization, people feels that the work or the people is more important. In other words, what's the general consensus in your organization? Let's see what the chat is saying about the prior one. Let's see. All right, nice, not bad. I see 6, 7, 8, 9s. Wow, that's really good. All right, we do have a couple of 2s and 3s, but it looks like our Jamaican organizations aren't doing too bad. But at the same time, we see work as seem to be the dominant winner in terms of where the emphasis is placed and not so much on the people. So we can see a mismatch there sort of coming out, and it's quite classical in most gratitude research that it is well shown that the workplace is one of the lowest places that gratitude is practiced as compared to anywhere else in person's life. And as a matter of fact, managers and leaders tend to get the lowest level of grateful expressions for numerous reasons. But you can start to understand that it's not something that's really culturalized a lot at work in the workplace. And it is the true winners that really realize that in cultivating it, they will win through it. So let's go to the tools, strategies, and game plan. How do you get this thing to work for you? Saw the chat blinking a while ago. Let me give some more people some more appreciation, some recognition for what they have shared. All right, so I see some 5. I see a 10 coming out from Kelvin. All right, that sounds very good. I want to ask Kelvin which company. Work. Nice, nice, nice. All right, people are more important. Very appreciated people. All right, awesome. All right, so each of us, will have varied levels of work to do to increase the level of gratefulness or appreciation within our organization. But hopefully some of the things I shared earlier starts to give you reality checks, right? That sometimes what we think is we need to spread the radar a little bit to look at it in a richer sense to be able to start to grasp the full extent of it. So tools, how do you do it? And for those of us who are doing it, has the 9s and 10s already. Hopefully this part of the chat starts to help you to analyze what you're doing and to see if what you're doing is matching up to some of the global best practices. And if it's not, then you'll get some ideas to up your game and make it more sustainable. If you have not started, then these should really help you to get off the ground as well. So let's jump into it. The strategy and the game plan. The first step of your strategy is to aim to make gratitude a habit at each level. Remember, you're in an organization. You can't just do this at the people level and expect it to last. If the policies, if the relationships are off, then even if the people go off on a gratitude retreat and come back, they're coming back to that less favorable space. And hence, they will return to what they were before. And so the aim is to make gratitude a habit at each level. So we have the episodic moments of feeling appreciated. We heard a nice description of that earlier, of being given a trip. And so the more you can make those feelings a habit, that people feel it more and more and more and more, then what you find is that on the person level, then it tends to seep in and become what we call an emotional schema. So in other words, when the person starts to feel, they feel gratitude first. The brain has this thing about repetition. Anything you repeat multiple times in the brain starts to take it as an expectation. It looks forward to it, and it almost creates it itself. And so the more times you can help persons to feel it in the organization, then they almost expect it and they feel it by default. You need to make it happen at the interpersonal level by reinforcing the connections and behavior between each other. And so the more it is seen as a social norm, then that now reinforces it at that level. And then of course, you need to embed it in the shared beliefs and practices in terms of your policies, processes, and so forth, that it becomes the culture. So, but that culture is really a habit on that level. So in other words, it's a habit for the organization. It's a habit for the teams. It's a habit for the person. So your aim is to make gratitude a habit at each level, not just at one level, but at each of the levels that there are. So that's number one. So your aim is that at one level. The next strategy that is critical is to deliver it at multiple levels simultaneously. Hear me? Deliver it at multiple levels simultaneously. All right? It is important that persons get that immersive experience. And so in an organization, you can categorize this as others helping us helping others, and transcending experiencing. So examples, well-studied, names like Robert E. Mons, names like Professor Ryan Foer, and the list goes on. Numerous of these scholars are there that have researched these things and made them available to you. If you just go online and search, and you can see the interventions. So others helping us are like our recognition and appreciation programs, where we put things in place for persons to share their appreciation with each other, be recognized for their performance, to be able to express gratitude to each other in very meaningful ways, whether through meetings or otherwise. These is others helping us, we are provided with the experience of feeling grateful. So you can dive into that and look at the richness of different varieties that you can do. People put gratitude days, gratitude walls, you name it. Any one of those ways to be able to make people feel recognized, cared for, and gratitude is expressed constantly, and persons are feeling it coming to them. The next way now is for persons to feel gratitude going out from them, and it is them helping others and providing opportunities to allow them to help others. Good things that are studied is like benefactor connections. So I work as the ancillary staff member. I need to see how this job is actually helping other persons. So you provide time for persons to meet the end receiver of the benefit of your organization. And so you connect persons back to the end benefit. A very good study that was done was about call centers and looking at students in call centers, seeing the benefit that is being given to the persons who they make customer service calls for, and getting back that praise of thanks, multiply the performance tremendously in the groups that was given the connection as when compared to the groups that did not. Volunteering, numerous organizations have volunteer programs. Volunteer programs also have their challenges, so they must be run properly. But volunteer programs help persons to connect to others and give of themselves. And so those are very powerful ways that you can provide multimodal engagements. Transcending gratitude experiences are like developmental feedback, helping persons to become their better self. People tend to feel very grateful. Coaching is a very big buzzword these days. One-on-one meetings is another big buzz within organizations. These things are very powerful because they help persons to now become their better self, and they become grateful for these transitions, but they are intentionally shown how to, the benefit of these things so that they can actually connect the dots, because as we saw, people can easily forget, become distracted, or otherwise they're going through this benefit and they think they're entitled to it. But when you go through it as a process of a grateful or appreciative program, or it falls under your appreciation banner, then they start to connect the dots in that sort of way. Of course, transcending goes beyond self as well. It goes into providing experience and exposure to nature, spiritual development, connecting to purpose. Make it there's this big movement of purpose at work, and so helping persons to see the purpose of their job. So it's not just a job or a work, but it's more like a calling. And so being able to see how purposefully a work that's been done can be a part of your life's work. And so when your work can become a part of your life's work, then it becomes more meaningful, you become more humble. And of course, if it's connected to your appreciation programs, then now persons start to see it as now a means to experience gratitude in more powerful ways. So we said deliver multi-level simultaneously. Look for ways in which you can embed it in different aspects of the work routine of your workers so that they can experience it in multiple ways. Appreciate the appreciation. I mean, I sing this drum every day because of the impact it had on me. Just recognize that it is so important that your managers, it's so important that not just your managers, but co-workers realize that they can appreciate the value of people and not recognize their faults, because it's okay to not recognize a fault. It's okay to underperform. It's okay to do that. We don't have to belittle you because you did that, but we can appreciate you for the value that you've given to us just being here and contributing as a member of the team. And so these appreciative spaces that you can provide, and there's so many ways to do this, whether you create digital platforms that persons can share appreciation. I'm gonna share one with you in the last exercise that we're gonna do, that is so easy to do, and as a springboard for even more complex appreciation program that is built on top of and then supersedes your recognition programs. Importantly, and this is key now, and we have two last tips, right? Or two last pillars in your strategy. So first pillar was aim to make it a habit on multiple levels, not just on one level. Deliver multi-level or multiple gratitude experience simultaneously, and we give you ideas of how these can be done in different ways. Don't ever leave off the appreciation one. All right, it's probably one of the simplest things to do. It's intangible, it's free to do, it's very simple, and you can build in. Though, yes, there are complex ways to do this, very expensive ways to do this. Building out appreciation platforms that people can share and store memories and send e-cards and so forth. They're very expensive ways, but it starts from the very simple. Thank you. How is your day? How are you feeling? You were a great member of the team today. It starts in those very simple ways and then builds up based on how large and or how impactful you want to make it. You can really make it complex. So this is third pillar. It has to be year round, right? Now you're gonna learn that we have something called the Gratitude Recharge Experience that runs from September 21, World Gratitude Day, every year. Hermaj had helped us kick this off. That runs straight onto Thanksgiving. We provide that period to help organizations to look at doing a gratitude recharge at their workplace. But these little spikes of gratitude engagements are just campaigns. Gratitude needs to run throughout the year, and it needs to run in the small little actions, the little corner talks, the little small huddles and so forth. It needs to happen in those little spaces because that's where the rubber hits the road for work. And so if it's not in work, then it won't help the work process. It will only be a grateful experience or feeling gratitude and not helping people to become grateful persons. So year round, and importantly, it needs to also develop organically. It's not something you can force to say, poof, I now have a grateful organization or I now have grateful people. It takes its own time, and each of our organizations have different predispositions in our people. And so we have to be patient and allow it to grow on its own organic state as we are stimulating it from different points. This is big to remember. We're going through COVID right now. Gratitude helps us handle challenges time. It helps the organization, it helps the person. And it's such a simple way to do a very big and impactful experience. So what does gratitude do? It helps us to cope better with traumatic experience. It helps us to regulate our negative emotions. It helps to improve our well-being in different ways. And it has a positive effect on our families and friends, co-workers when we do it. It is a powerful tool right now to help to take your organizations through. Now that said, comes to the fourth pillar. The fourth pillar is to remember that gratitude is not a panacea. It is an amazing thing. You'll be blown away. You'll live in the literature every single day once you start to practice it and start to try it out, trying to learn more and so forth. But we can get lost in it and not realize that it won't solve the negative things that are there. While it makes it easier for us to understand them, while it makes us more appreciative of them, it does not solve them in of itself. And so we need to have methods to deal with the negativeness in of itself and not just gloss over it by the intervention. While gratitude helps us to cope and bring better sense to our high demand work, help us to make us more resilient and more cooperative, and it mitigates the negative thoughts and feelings that may come up at work. Negativeness is its own problem. Deviance is its own problem. And so we have to tackle those separately. A second part, a flip side to this coin, is also to remember that if approached wrong, gratitude can backfire as well. All right. If it is that you are running gratitude in an organization that is not grateful at all, it's very cynical, it's very toxic. It's very easy for somebody to say, this is another event that you are trying to just get to do another thing. And so people see it as a means to push them and control them, and not so much a mean to contribute to their development, growth, and enrichment. And so you have to look out for those pitfalls, all right? That is critical. Other things on this side of the coin, if it's not authentic, it will not stick. Just remember that. If it's not authentic, it will not stick. If you're not doing this for the development of others, gratitude is other focused. It is not an emotion that helps you. It is an emotion that helps others. You feel good, but the reason why you feel good is because of others. All right? And so we have to realize on an organizational level as well, if the organization is doing it for itself and not because it wants to be a better contributor, a better helper of persons to help others, then really and truly you'd have gotten it wrong at the first place. And then you'd have to start over because people is going to realize the cracks when they start to crack in the middle. So allow it to grow organically, allow people to immerse in it based on where they are, because depending on what people are going through, some people tag on a little earlier or later, but inevitably everybody enjoys it as they go through it. Especially, you heard just one experience can be mind-blowing, you know, it changes you. So where your culture has mismatch, anger and resentment can come up. Where people are praised inequitably, envy can come up. Where people are praised too much, excessive pride can develop. And of course, you can develop this state of pseudo gratitude. People just mimicking what the boss have to do because the boss will do it. And people can become defensive and otherwise. So it's not something to just take tactically. It's something that really requires genuine internal transformation for you to do it well. So you've just learned the 4 pillars to having a successful use of gratitude as a transformational tool for people development. The question to you now is, how can you begin an appreciation movement at work tomorrow? The floor is open for some ideas to flow. Think about that for 10 seconds and let's hear from you guys. Truly appreciate this presentation, very relevant as we as HR practitioners seek to encourage and balance now. Thanks, Colleen, for that share. Thanks, Hermaj. Blessings to you, Hermaj, too, indeed. All right, let's answer this question, guys. Let's open the mics. How can you begin? And literally, I'm asking you to think about your company right now, right? Wherever you're working, if you're in multiple spaces, think of multiple. But if you're in one, how can you begin an appreciation movement at work tomorrow? Give me some answers, guys. And I don't want the guys who answered already. I want some new guys. Or we start with the same guys and then we move to some new guys. Let's hear some voices, guys. Who's with me? Do I still have anybody on?
Saying thank you. Saying thank you for the little things.
Saying thank you for the little things. Who just said that a while ago? Jack said that a while ago. So you can start a movement tomorrow by saying thank you for the little things. So in other words, if it's not there already, you can just simply start there. Right. Literally, you begin by saying thank you, right? So that's very powerful. Thanks for that, Jackie. Guys, brainstorm this. This is your takeaway now. You know, we're wrapping up now. So if you never got the punchline before of the way to make it work, I pray that you get the punchline in the suggestions that people are going to give.
So right. I have a coworker who always brings like little snacks and sweets, or maybe a packet of instant coffee for persons in the office. Yes. And there's no timeline to it. It's just a random thing.
Awesome. So little random acts of kindness, right? Yes. I encourage organizations to have random acts of kindness week, the first week of every month. And that is as a powerful transformational tool. I have Appreciation Mondays that's running. So that's powerful as well. I see buy chocolate for everybody, buying lunch. All right. So awesome suggestions coming in. Who else? Let's hear one more. How can you start this tomorrow? Literally, guys, this is you thinking about what you're going to do tomorrow. What can you do tomorrow that's not happening now?
Have a gratitude calendar. So
what about gratitude calendar?
No, yeah. So each day you do something different. So it could be today, thank you. Tomorrow, a little card. Next day, a sweetie. But that's almost a gratitude calendar. So it becomes intentional.
I think Lois says start with yourself, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Or the gratitude calendar is for your team.
For the team. For the team, not for you. For the team, man. Into the appreciation mode, not for yourself. Not for yourself, Ijah. Just just have a calendar to say, okay, I am going to show appreciation to the team. And probably just do it with a calendar or something. Awesome.
So that's a brilliant idea, right? So tomorrow, bring your team together, pull up a calendar, drop down some things that we're gonna do. Guys, we're going on a 30-day gratitude experience. Let's give me some ideas of things we can do for 30 days. That's powerful. Who else has something to share? How can I start an appreciation movement tomorrow at work? I see start utilizing some new approaches learned, improve what you're doing. Awesome. Get into leadership team to drive gratitude ideas. Start from the top. I love that one. Go sow the seeds that will multiply. That one is lovely, Jackie. Thanks so much. All right, so continue to share the chat because I'm sure others would like to learn from you because, you know, gratitude is something that we all know intuitively, but it's just to get into the richness of it. That's my message today. So you can really get out of it what is really hidden in it. And so share the ideas and let that richness start to multiply as you share with each other. So I'm going to give you a few that you can start with to move from start to success, right? And so the first one is for you. Do this, right? Most persons shared the name of a person when we started that they would want to give thanks to. Here's my challenge to you. Do it. Take a pen when you're done, right after this, write a note to the person who you named earlier and let them know in your note. Write down to them how they impacted your life. And who's to tell, you might feel like sharing it when you're done, but that's up to you though, right? So start with you, all right? And I want everybody who put a name in to do that right after we're finished, right now. Take a pen, take a paper, write down what did this person do? Why was it so impactful? And let them know if you feel like doing it. Tomorrow though, tomorrow you can do this. I spoke about Appreciation Mondays. Well, tomorrow Appreciation Friday. Get into your team and have a virtual gratitude hot seat. Most of us have intranets or we have WhatsApp groups. Start a virtual gratitude hot seat. And you begin it by just picking somebody and say, Mary, you are amazing and this is why. And you let them know in as specific a way as possible, as authentic a way as possible, why are they amazing? And then after you're done, you say, tag, you're it. And she now needs to put somebody else on the hot seat and that keep running straight through the day. And then every week, all you do is come back again and you blend it up. You blend it up the next week. You said, whoever name, you are important instead of you are amazing. You are special. You change the word. And so it keeps being novel for them. And this is why. And then you keep having that virtual or physical. It's even much nicer when it's physical. COVID times, so I can't do it physical. But it's a great way to start your meetings. It's a great way to just have everybody energized on a special day of the week. Now, once you've done that, of course, I'm going to invite you back to connect with us because you may want to grow this thing out some more, right? And if you want to grow it out some more with some support, as we said, we're running our Gratitude Recharge Experience. It started on September 21st. This week, we're wrapping up the Reflect and Recognize week. Pause, reflect, explore, plan, do. Relax, refresh, recharge. Our Gratitude Recharge Experience, we send you content. You don't have to think about it. You just mix it the way you want it, and you just send it to your people, and it works for you. We do it for free for you and help you to build out your recharge experience each year. Within it, we have a powerful gratitude audit that helps you to know where your team is, where you are. People can get to see where they are, so they can jump in. They can use the gratitude audit for free. And if that doesn't blend with you, we did this at Couples Hotel a few years ago. You know, get everybody to do a gratitude wall. I'm hoping, Petra Williamson was a part of her match. I think she still is. She can tell you the stories. Couples Hotel was transformed when we did this gratitude wall. End of day gratitude recharge. You know, you bring your team together and let them enjoy that grateful experience. Whatever you do, though, try to make a pledge with it. Because as we say, you want to make it a habit first. That was the first pillar of the strategy. Make it a habit. So you can probably pledge, say, let's do this for 14 days. And then you work it. If we can do it for 14 days, let's do it for 14 more days. And if we do it for 14 more days, we can do it for another 14 days. And then you will get to see that at the end, it is not about the years that you are with your company, but it's about the life in the years that you are with your organization. And so hopefully you guys got a lot of good stuff here, and the floor is now open for you to talk. That is a wrap for me.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thank you so much. I love your gratitude.
So, I see persons have been participating in the chat. Any questions? Awesome experience, yes it is. There's so much that we learned today, this evening. I love the appreciation Mondays, or even tomorrow.
Appreciation Fridays.
Tomorrow we're going to do the gratitude Fridays.
Yeah, there we go.
So we're starting with ourselves. So tomorrow we're going to start off, we're going to write the person who we shared our experience, we're going to write a note.
That's tonight, right after we finish.
Tonight, right. Tomorrow we're going to do our virtual gratitude hot seat.
There you go.
We're going to do gratitude Friday. And remember people, tomorrow is our fun day.
There we go.
Day. So remember, it's the close of HR week. It's our fun night, 7 p.m. via Zoom. It's a night of fellowship where members offer a talent piece, right? But guess what? It's Gratitude Friday also. So you are going to find something to be amazing for. So I can start off. I'm going to say, all you, everybody, those attendees, you are amazing. And the fact that you're here till after 8 o'clock, that is wonderful. I appreciate you. So, awesome presentation. It was very interactive. Enjoyed it. Yes, Selma. Very good presentation, everybody. So, I like the phrase of relax.
Another question, Carly.
There's a question.
Okay, it's not a question. I tuned in late and just got a little part of the presentation, and it's really, really, really amazing. But I wanted to share my personal experience today.
Go ahead.
This morning I stopped at the store, and as one person said, just little things. I bought just little stuff for my team, put them in gift bags, and I took it to work. And at some point today, when I went in, I got busy, but I eventually locked the door, packaged them, and gave it to them each, and just thanked them for being such a supportive team. They were so appreciative, but I think what got me since evening when I got home, I saw a thank you just popped up on her LinkedIn page, just thanking me for being such a supportive leader, and just thinking of them, and the gifts just blew her away. So just hearing the presentation, I just thought, wow, I mean, it just worked quite nicely in terms of the gratitude and all of that. And I thought it was a good experience to share based on the presentation.
Yes.
Proof in the pudding, and the pudding is yours.
Very good. I could hear that. I mean,
really love that activity you did today. Kudos for that.
Going to work, I remember I just stopped at Tasty. I just bought everybody patty, and for breakfast I just came in and I said, okay, this is your early morning breakfast.
Good one.
I'm
taking out my doctor's hat when I hear that one, you know. I'm taking out the doctor's hat.
That's right. But I mean, my people.
The thought was good.
So I just shared something with them. And it makes you feel good when you share and they're appreciative of it. They didn't expect it and they get it.
Yeah, man. That was awesome.
Yes. Any other excellent presentation? I'd like to get it. Yes.
Just to share, Leodis here before you go, Carly.
Yes, Leodis.
Yeah, just want to quickly say today was such a fantastic day for me.
Right.
I was at home. I was working from home.
Okay.
And so what I did this morning, because I could not do anything tangible, I sent personal notes to every single member.
Wow.
Along with their happy, HR day. And I mean, they were so shocked because they didn't even remember really
Right.
When I sent it also, they, you know, they said thank you. They're really appreciative and so on. So it's just, it's not the big things, but
Right.
sometimes just the little things we do. And as our presenter said, you know, acknowledging people is just really important. You don't have to give them a big gift. You can just acknowledge, great day, good job, etc. And people are really grateful for that more than sometimes when we bring them something.
Absolutely.
And you know that one of the things that once you go on this journey, you realize that gratitude itself is a gift from God to us for the gifts that we give, and the gift keeps coming back because we feel the pleasure every single time we get the thank you because of that which we gave. In the focus on others and expressing our gratitude, it comes back to us as a gift again.
Dr. Thompson,
yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
I want to ask you a question on the reverse side though, because sure. You see, I think it is relevant that this is somewhat, I call it somewhat of a reward, but yes. It, as you rightly say, it should not just be a system, but it should be a part. It should be a part of your personhood. I agree, but suppose you're supervising a team of persons where 10 of them may be very good workers and you express this gratitude constantly, but one of them or two of them is so outstandingly poor in their attitude, behavior, personality in really ridiculous way that it's absurd. And for some reason or the other, I want you now to show me how do I, show my gratitude, or doesn't come down hard in the sense that rightfully so sometimes it is the way you should really do it. How do you put that mix and that twist to this situation?
Yeah, so Hopton, I can tell you I lived through that. I lived through that for years in my own team. And every one of us, we pre-prime ourselves to our own emotional schemas that we intrinsically feel the anger, the resentment coming on when we expect, we don't even see it from the person, but we expect it. And even before the person can open their mouth, our emotional mannerisms start to come out, or our thinking starts to change. And this, if you know about theory Y and theory X, that we start to see the person as who we think they are long before we even see them. And so this is why I said to you, it is so liberating when you get into this appreciation of what it means to recognize people for their merits and merit them in accordance to the merit that they give, and appreciating them authentically and abundantly for the true value that they are to life, the true value that they are to people, and the true value they are as a person. That you don't need any achievements, accolades. You could be in terms of your team, you could be the worst performer since the existence of the organization. As a person, you have tremendous thing to be praised for. Now, that said, we have to, as we said, you can't take the negative and expect that gratitude is going to fix that. And so if you have a performance issue in your team, then you need to have your performance systems that deal with that. If you have people that are not meeting criterias in terms of what they're supposed to do for their work, they probably need job crafting. They probably need to do some cross-train to try to figure out if they fit in another area that they can meet those performance outcomes. Because certainly if they are constantly being demotivated by their performance, then their self-efficacy goes down, the chance of burnout goes up, and numerous other problems. And so being able to appreciate and being able to recognize is an important moment of awakening that we need to get as leaders, so that once you're around people, you can smile even at the worst behavior, because you know in that person is a human being that deserves to be touched, deserves to be praised, deserves to be comforted, and become their better self every day.
Well said. Thank you very much. Lovely answer. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Dr. Thompson, thank you so much. This is Loy Walters. Thank you so much for your presentation. I heard you talking to Hopton a while ago, and what came to mind is that sometimes we are not speaking the language of the person. People have different languages of appreciation. And sometimes because we are expecting that our words matter, when for some people, your acts of service matter. Indeed. You know, they might not want you to tell them thank you, but they might want you to help them with a project.
Indeed.
Or, or they might want you to spend quality time with them, giving them a one-on-one kind of coaching session. So I think it's very important in terms of when we are doing gratitude, we spend the time to find out what works with each employee, and also what's happening in terms of the context. Is it that everything else is not right, so your words of gratitude will bounce off because there are other things going on in the space? So sometimes I think we have to spend the time to diagnose what's going on there to help us to better express what we need to express. But thanks again. I really enjoyed myself tonight.
So true, Lauren. And thank you so much for that. Those are very powerful words. As I said earlier, the
Right.
richness of gratitude is understood here already, but it's to bring it together and allow everybody and challenge Hermage, to create a forum that the experiences that are had in development, because Lloyd just mentioned a very powerful perspective that is an important nuance to being able to deal with people. And I'm appreciating the difference in personality, tendencies, desires, and so forth. And so as we go into appreciation programs, you realize that you have to make them dynamic, you have to make them diverse. One program won't fit all. And so appreciating that now allows you to craft your program with those sort of things built into it. So I would definitely say to the guys that are on from Hermage, build a portal that allows persons to share and keep a rich reservoir that others, as they come over time, can benefit from and learn how to use.
Thank you, Dr.
Definitely. We'll do.
You're welcome.
We could go on and on all evening, but we have to close. I see some more in the chat. Today I gave my team coconut macaroon. I would want to be a member of your team, Cyrus. Just remember me next time, okay? But wonderful thought and wonderful appreciation, show of appreciation to your staff. I really appreciate the spiritual connection to this presentation, Petula. Amazing session. Leodis always use it as know your staff, KYS, just as we talk about know your customer, which is KYC. So thank you very much, everyone, for the response. It was an awesome presentation, and as usual, always interactive, leave us wanting more. There are key words that we can remember, or key phrases: feeling grateful, being grateful, recognition versus appreciation, or recognition and appreciation, work or people, which one is most important in your organization. Kelvin, you did a 10. Everybody wants to work at your organization. I think we'll all talk offline as to where you work, because I guess we're all applying.
I want to go there too.
Exactly. So, and then the idea of how can you begin an appreciation movement at work starting tomorrow. So we have this challenge, and we are to take up that challenge. Tomorrow we're going to start with our Gratitude Fridays, right? So people, you start with yourself, and then you work it out amongst yourself, and then you blend it up week after week. So, and as President Loy says, we can have a chart that we can work with. So once again, Dr. Thompson, wonderful presentation. We could ask a better person to gratitude is a must. And we show our appreciation. Right. So we give you virtual thanks right now because we really can't touch you and give you the actual that is coming, or appreciation and recognition is coming. Definitely. Definitely. So,
next time we'll have coffee singing with him, Carly. Yeah. So she sings the song and then he carries us through the presentation. That sounds like a plan.
That's a plan. It can work.
That sounds like a plan, Dr. Thompson. We can work that out. It's her magic and you, work it out.
Definitely.
We'll have a bigger crowd too.
Looking for it.
All right.
Maxine said, thanks, Dr. Thompson. Awesome presentation as always. We have been given powerful resources to transform our lives and those of the persons we lead. Okay, I will continue reading, but let me just do the wrap up. As we say, this is HR week. And remember, we started with our church service. We have gone to our webinar on Tuesday. Yesterday, we had everyone. It was a powerful session. Again, we had another powerful session with our public lecture. Tomorrow we close on Friday, October the 8th, tomorrow at 7 p.m. via Zoom. Persons, we are going to share the talent of our Hermage members. So register the talent, your performance. Call the secretariat. Go find the Miss Blue poem. Go practice your dance. Go practice how to mix and blend up something that you can teach the rest of us. Go try and sing in the bathroom and perfect it from here. You can sing coffee. Gratitude is a must. We'll get a backup and work with you. So anything to show your appreciation and to show your talent, come tomorrow ready to participate because we'll be here at 7 p.m. So what do I have to close off with? I just like to thank everybody, all the attendees. You could have somewhere else to go, but you spent the time with us, and we sure hope that you got what you came here for. Thank our directors who are, some of us who attended, some of us who were able to attend. We thank our presenter, Dr. Thompson. As he said, continue being the awesome presenter that you are. Continue to share your knowledge and continue the work that you have been given and invested. Earlier we had said our condolences to a member who died, somebody who died at the National Service Management. Sorry to hear, so we just offer. We are going to.
Somebody's TV.
Daddy, we're not hearing you. Somebody needs to mute their mic.
I don't know who it is. I don't have host privilege.
They're turning up louder and louder.
Whoever has host privilege, just find out which mic is on.
Maybe it's a communication.
Tanisha Richards.
But a lot of people, at least in my area,
mute her. I can do it.
All right, she's muted now. You need to unmute.
Remember, your mask, here it is, red for your 40th anniversary. Here's the mask, $500 only, contributions, worthy cause. Please contact the secretariat. There are logos. We have our Hermage logo on it. And so I'm asking all of us to purchase these masks. You can use it from now until whenever. It's a Hermage mask ready for you. Still keeping. Right?
Tell me where to come and pick up.
The secretariat, Hermage secretariat. Call Miss Broadbent. Send an email. They will tell you how to go about getting your mask. Okay? 997-7717. That's a number you can call. All right. Great presentation. Enjoy it. Use them as gifts for your staff members. And we continue and we continue. So, members, thank you very much. President, do you have a closing remark? Or you're okay?
Just want to say thanks to Dr. Thompson and to everyone who came out. It's nice to see you. I saw some names from last night. They're back again tonight. And we know this has been a full week and persons have risen to the challenge. You know, thank you for your moderation, Director Carleen, and thanks to everybody who participated and joined today. And we will definitely take you up, Dr. Thompson, on your challenge of starting a Hermage gratitude. You know, we probably have to have like a Hermage hashtag gratitude something. Right. You know, where every day we ask them to post and perhaps on our LinkedIn or Facebook ideas about gratitude. Maybe we can talk, Dr. Thompson, some more of how we can do that some more. But definitely, thank you so much. I really enjoyed myself tonight. And you know, just when Dr. Thompson talked about gratitude, I realized that we started the week with gratitude because I did a gratitude presentation for some of our frontline workers
Very
at,
good.
on Monday. And now Dr. Thompson is closing off the week with gratitude. So we are definitely trying to go in the right direction.
Thank you, President. And don't forget, Conference 40 is virtual. We'll be having a virtual conference the 19th to the 20th of November. Stay tuned. Look out for more information. Thank you, everybody. Have a safe evening. Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. with your talent piece. And make sure you wear your red. Buy your mask. Keep safe. Have a great evening.
God bless you all.
God bless everyone.